Conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, Venkat, other students will join in few minutes. First, we'll go through with the participants intro and we'll start the demo, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Abhinesh, can you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself to the trainer?
Hi, Abnesh. Okay. Abnesh, you are on mute. Yeah.
We can't hear you, Abhinesh. Okay, okay, sure. Can you please introduce yourself?
Who? Next one, if you know. I think Abnesh, we can't hear you. Then we can go with another one. By the time he
Yeah.
adjusts.
Shweta, can you
Hey,
hear
hi,
us? Shweta?
yeah, I can hear you all now. Yeah, hi, I'm Shweta. I have 15 years of experience and I am looking forward for training in BTP CAP.
Okay.
Okay. Bharani Dharan.
This is Naveen.
Bharani, can you please unmute and introduce yourself?
I'm myself Bharadharan.
Hi, Bernie.
Hi.
Okay. Syed.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, hi, Said. We can hear you.
Hi, I'm Yasser Syed. I have 3 years experience in SAP theory.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
Venkat.
but
Now we can start the demo.
okay, one more, Simon.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, hi, Simon.
Hello. Yeah, myself, Simeon Matthew. Yeah, I have 2 years of SAP UFA and Fury
Mm-hmm.
experience. Yeah, that's all from myself.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you. Okay, let me introduce myself. Myself Venkat. I have 14 years of experience. Um, I started my journey as a UI5 Fury developer. Almost I've worked 9+ years of experience in UI5 and Fury, and from 3.5 years I have been working on SAP BTP CAPM with Node.js stack. I have experience in with ABAP, OData, and I have experience with RAP as well. Not that much great. Okay, okay. This is a small introduction. We'll come to know when we go with the forward in this journey. Okay, and now just I want to ask, do anyone have experience with working with JavaScript? UI5 Fury developers will be knowing, and anyone from ABAP background and no touch with JavaScript coding or something, because I want to know before starting. Then I can change the content, or according to that, what are the things we are required for this training. We will start with that, then we'll go into that CAPM training. Yeah.
So, Venkat, I have a BAP background, but I do understand what JavaScript, but I have not like coded in JavaScript,
Okay.
but I can
Yeah,
read code.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, because we anyway we'll cover the JavaScript basics before starting here, because in this training we'll have with Node.js. We'll use not plain Node.js. We'll use the Cap framework, but you should know the JavaScript structure, object creation, and defining of variables, and of these functions, all these concepts. So we'll cover basics. And nowadays, I think JavaScript is many people are not using. We are going with TypeScript. It is on top of JavaScript. It's a type safe. We will use that also in this course. TypeScript using backend Node.js stack for TypeScript, and UI5 also. We don't need UI5, but nowadays SAP changed the environment also for products development. They are looking for TypeScript development instead of JavaScript. So we'll use this. One second. Okay. So we will be covering these topics, and we'll okay. Then let me get into this introduction, what we cover, and and also we'll cover about cloud computing. That means we need some basics, because BTP is a PaaS service, platform as a service, and in BTP we build side by side extensions, and also we use import the external APIs. It can be from API Hub or S4 HANA API, whatever it is. So this one, when we start with the introduction with the PPT, then we can go through this. We come to know what we are going to teach, everything. So today is this today agenda, that just give overview of glimpse of what we are going to learn in this course. And this course will be mostly hands-on training. So after completing every section, we'll go with assignments and with the hands-on training. We just like an interactive session. It should be to learn this, not get into theory and almost into theory. So what we do first, we learn the concept, then we implement it in the coding hands-on. So it will be really learning perspective. It will be very helpful for you when we get you into the coding instead of mostly into theory and everything. Okay. So first we'll talk about cloud computing. Small basics. You should know what is a PaaS, IaaS, and a SaaS application. That means software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. These words you should know. Then only you understand what at what category BTP falls in. Okay. So this is the today agenda. Then we will go with this. So when we talk about our olden days of development, maybe who have experience of 10 plus, they might be knowing. Because earlier we don't have cloud computing. That means we don't have the cloud environment of development tools. That is take a BAS, Web IDE, all these things. Before that, we used to install the tools. If a Java developer, ABAPS no, because we have the SAP GUI, everything will be there. Anyway, that also you need to install on a local PC. But when we talk about open source environment, Java developer, .NET developers, everything they need to set up on their PC before starting their project or everything. So we used to install the softwares, and we need to manage the versions and everything. During deployment also, if you have multiple developers, they also, if there is a version mismatch, sometimes there will be issues. It will take a lot of time to figure out what is happening. Even in Node.js, even there is a small version changes, there will be a lot of trouble. Even we faced in our project also. So before cloud, we used to have local infrastructure on your local PC. Even before GitHub also, if we don't have, earlier we don't have GitHub also. So locally we used to develop and we used to do all these things. So setup is manual on all our local systems. Even you used to install database also on your local system to test your code or code changes. So after once the cloud computing came into picture, so we have different types of services here. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. We'll talk about infrastructure. So all under BTP, AWS, Azure, GCP, this all provide us infrastructure. And or BTP falls under platform as a service because they are not providing only infrastructure. That means hardware, virtual environment, just like how we work with virtual desktops. That is infrastructure as a service. So BTP is a platform as a service. That means they will provide you the hardware what you require for the development, and also the suppose environment, runtime environment. Suppose you want to work on Node.js stack, you need pre-configured environment. You no need to install everything. So once you log into the BTP cockpit, once you have access, once you are subscribed for BTP, you have the service business application studio. So that is one of the service, and inside that, before getting into the BAS, you should create dev space for it. If anyone have tried BTP BAS, you come to know dev space. Dev space is a virtual environment. So here you are not installing any Node.js software or any UEFI software, everything. It is pre-built package what you have, and you subscribe to it and create a dev space. If you have there are different types of dev spaces, only for Fiori or HANA. If you are HANA backend only developer, you have HANA native, and also you have both full stack and full stack with productivity tools. That means BAS will provide some additional tools that will improve your productivity during your development. So BAS is one of the software we use for development in our, and some people, if you're comfortable, you can use Visual Studio Code also. If you have experience Visual Code, sometimes BAS is a cloud environment, right? It will take some time to load initially, even to start the HANA DB, everything. Both I will cover here, whether you can set up an environment in the Visual Studio Code, because many projects, some people, customers think instead of buying licenses BAS for all the developers, we can set up with VS Code. It's a free, and we can install the Fiori tools and development environment. That also comes into picture in some projects. And setup, you don't need to set up in here. We have all the pre-installed tools in BAS. And deployment, when you go for deployment, in this course we will cover a bit GitHub, Bitbucket, Azure Git, all are the same, just some changes small. If you know how to use the GitHub, using how to push your code, pull the code and everything. And some projects will be having CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So what it is, a pipeline concept, we'll see in this course. Once you push your code to the Bitbucket or GitHub or Azure Git, whatever it is, they will set up a pipeline so to push your code automatically. And once they have set up some rules for code checkings, whether you have written unit test, whether you have written integration test, or if it's backend service, whether you have covered the unit test for backend services also. Okay, and collaboration is Bitbucket or GitHub shared repos. We'll cover all these things in our course. We'll cover how we work in a real time and everything. Okay, now I'll be short overview of BTP. It is when come to the history of it, initially it was SAP cloud platform. So at that time only we have very less services in that web ID, and we don't have all these services like event mesh, integration shoot, advanced event mesh, and we have a lot of services. Earlier we used to have some services, very less services. So now SAP, it renamed, not only renaming, they added many services. Since it's a platform now, it's a development platform for cloud things, all SAP things. Even you have to use AI, SAP AI core and everything, AI capabilities, you need this platform. Earlier only web ID and very less services were being used. Now we have development and everything comes in BTP. Now on premises only S4 on premise, even S4 HANA cloud, public cloud, many things are there, all on BTP. So as I told, BTP is a platform as a service, and we have, you come to see, when you Google it, you can see there is a lot of images on BTP. 5 pillars, now we change it to 4 pillars, keep on changing. They might be categorizing. We have database and data management and analytics, application development and integration. Data management, database and data management comes under your HANA cloud. And analytics, you might be having SAP Analytics Cloud and KPIs, Fury apps, everything. Application development, what we do it here using BAS and everything. Integration services, we're connecting non-SAP SAP systems using integration suite or CPI. These are 4 pillars. And innovation is You have to extend. Suppose we have SAP or S4 HANA, already customer have S4 HANA, and if it is not a greenfield implementation, if it's a brownfield implementation, that means greenfield is a fresh start from the customer. They will start their implementation from the scratch. Brownfield in the sense it is already there is a implementation of them. They want to extend it partially, and they want to develop some things on the BTP without disturbing existing system. So that comes under extension shoot or side-by-side extensions in BTP. Our BTP supports not only SAP BTP environment, it supports AWS and Azure, GCP, Alibaba Cloud. You can see when you create a trial account with BTP, you can see they've provided region and what is the hyperscaler what you are using. Okay, hyperscalers mean these are the hyperscalers, AWS, Azure, and everything. They call us hyperscalers. We'll cover what is the advantage of using BTP, and also why you can't go with the on-premise. Okay, we have one BTP. If you have any questions, please stop me. Okay, and global account, we'll cover this in detail in upcoming sessions. How you create a global account and how you manage sub accounts. If you have different landscapes in on-premise, we will be having development, quality, production, and sometimes pre-production also for some customers. So we will see how you can relate with this account structure. Suppose you have cloud, you manage with different systems, but in BTP you have to create different sub accounts for that. So how you manage this, how you structure your landscape in cloud also using different sub accounts. And spaces, after spaces is where we develop all these things. We have runtime environment for running your applications and everything. Instances creation all will happen inside here. And directories optional. That means global account, I will show the structure also. Global account, and we have the directory just for organizing in Windows. How you organize your things, like that you can organize your sub accounts using directories. And entitlements and quotas in the sense, once you purchase BTP from SAP, they will assign you some quotas, entitlements based on your model, what you are subscribed to. We have different subscription model for BTP for customers. They have enterprise account, pay as you go, and complete subscription. The different structures. We'll cover this one. Based on that, you will get whether you can use unlimited memory or else pay as you go. Whatever you use it, they only charge for you. And sometimes if you have fully subscription, SAP will provide credits. Based on your credits usage, they will charge once you cross it. Okay, all these things. This is a small hierarchy diagram. Global account is the account where, suppose I am a customer, I want to implement BTP for myself. Then what they will purchase license from SAP. That means we have a contract with SAP. That is where your global account comes into picture. Based on your subscription model, you will get the limit of the services and the quota. Using that quota, you will categorize into different. You can split. Okay, for this development account, I need this set of service and this entitlements for this development, quality, and production. You will split and share all these resources, quota and entitlements. And you, because sub account and the director on the same level, because you can just to keep inside the folder this sub accounts to organize. You can name it like that. And inside that we have, inside directory you can put sub. That means you are wrapping all sub accounts inside one folder. That's it. You'll see this how you once you have trial account, you will get one global account. After that, you create sub account. You can create by default one sub account will be created for you once you subscribe. And after that, you can create multiple sub accounts. There are limitations for trial account and how you organize in directories. Then you come to know, okay, how it is being used in your development environment. And Cloud Foundry is an open source platform. Actually, that is not SAP's. SAP, all this cloud environment, development environment comes from Cloud Foundry. So SAP took it and they revamped some things according to their needs, and they put in BTP. That's a cloud found environment. This is open source and it is free. It's a PaaS. It is also PaaS service, platform as a service, and this helps you to run your code without on your different environment. Suppose you are using Node.js stack, you have this in on cloud found environment. You have this build packs Node.js, and you are using for you can use Java also for CAPM, and you can use Python also for your AI capabilities, and you can bring your own language also. There is a concept of bring your own language, any language you can, but it needs some setup. So all this is supported by Cloud Foundry. So you can Java, Node.js, Python, Go, etc. All languages will be supported, but for CAPM, SAP is using Java and Node.js. And we have another programming model, that is RAP, RESTful ABAP programming model, that is for ABAPers. This is microservice based architecture, communication between microservice to microservices. We'll see once you develop a CAP Node.js service. Suppose you have one master service and you have one transaction service. You want to use master service in your transaction service. So at that time, this microservice to service communication comes into picture. How do you connect? How do you import? How do you use it? Everything we'll see in this course. Okay. Okay. Coming to, do you have any questions till now? We can discuss. This is just high level. We'll dig it when it comes into the each section of the course. Okay. CAP is a framework to build SAP's enterprise scale apps on BTP. Cloud application programming model. Some people will call us CAPM. Actually, appropriate word is CAP. Okay, not CAPM. And the here is we use CDS services, core data services, which SAP got it from ABAP CDS and HANA CDS. They got it the same level of structure here. The CDS is the backbone for this CAPM, cloud application programming model. So once you have the services CDS you build, in there is concept of entities, associations, compositions, and we'll see how CDS is converted into the SQL part once before deploying into the your SQLite or HANA DB, HANA Cloud on BTP. Okay, and here we have the security part also. Once you develop your service, we have to secure our service. Only authorized users can be accessed this. Just like a Fiori tiles, how you give access to the Fiori tiles or authorized person to do the transactions. Similarly, we'll see how we can add this like security to these services. So we'll cover only Node.js in this course. Node.js using Node.js stack. It supports even Node.js stack supports PostgreSQL also. We'll see HANA Cloud here, and we'll see. Okay, if for time permits, I will show here PostgreSQL also, because customers now they are concerned about, if so many customer is concerned about cost HANA Cloud, so they will go with PostgreSQL because it's free. And we'll cover along with backend Node.js, we'll cover Wi-Fi Fiori, mostly Fiori elements. How do you build full stack application using Fiori elements of different floor plans? And freestyle also. We'll cover freestyle Wi-Fi Fiori apps, how you develop and how you use your CAP service, just like how you use OData services in your Wi-Fi freestyle applications. The same way, actually there here also finally we'll develop OData service. There also you are using ABAP gateway, also you develop OData service, but finally we do OData service will be used for Fiori elements development. But for Fiori elements, we'll use annotations in the backend. Using annotate, different vocabularies we have, Fiori elements related concepts we'll use. But in freestyle, we use with start from the scratch. and we'll use here we'll cover side-by-side extensions. And so here in this CAPM. Okay, this is what we covered so far. So here, when coming to the course content, this is very high level. You can find they will share the core course content, and also will adjust based on, because different people will have different background. So if you need some basics of different topics, we'll cover that, and otherwise it will be difficult for them to understand and go forward. Okay, and TypeScript, finally, once we develop using JS, then I will show how to use TypeScript in your project, because now many people are even products are built, SAP products are being built on using TypeScript. JavaScript is not being used in many places. Coverage was reduced. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far related to the course content? What I will cover, what not cover? Because many people have different questions. So you can ask me. Based on that, we will take feedback, and we will take forward all these things in the course. Okay. Be interactive. It's a hands-on learning sessions. We'll be doing hands-on complete. Even we'll give a task and we'll be doing together. You run into many problems initially, but you will learn from it. Anyone have experience working with, anyone have tried at least some tutorials from developer.sap.com or learning.sap.com CAPM? Vinesh, if you're speaking, I cannot hear you. Okay, anyone? Any questions? What we'll cover? And this is only weekend batch. Saturday, Sunday we'll be taking. Okay, if you don't have questions, then I consider it as a no. Then we will end the demo session here today, and we'll join next weekend Saturday. We'll start. Next Saturday we'll start the actual training. So first initially we'll get with all the setups what you need for this training, and then we'll start with JavaScript basics. And once we have JavaScript basics, some small assignments will be given for JavaScript. Then we'll have a small session on TypeScript, difference between TypeScript and JavaScript, how to use that. Then we'll start with the CAPM basics. Then we'll go with the service development, deployments, GitHub, HANA Cloud setup, and adding authentications of your service, access UAE app router, all these things. Okay. Okay, then if you don't have any questions, then I will end here. Thank you all. Thank you for joining.
Okay, I don't. Shall we start? Is it-
Give me 1 minute. One more question aside.
Okay, let us wait for 2 more minutes and see.
Now we can start. Please join.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. So last class we have seen only about what is BTP, just a demo. That's a demo class. That means we discussed about what we are going to cover, how we are going to things in the BTP CAPM, and what is the plan of learning, and we discussed about that. So today we'll start with basics. So we'll start with the HTML5, CSS, because we need those basics. HTML we don't need, but to understand the concept of DOM and everything, we need this HTML small things and how JavaScript will be used. And then if we'll go with some small CSS things. If you're aware, I can skip it. Just to understand the basics, I'm taking the CSS. Because if you are any UI5 theory developers, then they might be knowing these things. And after that, we'll go with JavaScript and difference between JavaScript and the TypeScript. Then we'll start with the basics of Node.js. Once you have some basics of Node.js, how to install your module, if you want to use any module apart from CAPM module, if you want to use some module from NPM, how to install it, how to use it, how to export the import into your coding of your controller file in handler file in CAPM. So those things will be covered. So today I will start with HTML, then we'll go with CSS and JavaScript basics.
Okay. Actually, we three are UFA developers in field here. Actually, we know CSS, HTML. Better we can start with the JavaScript, TypeScript difference.
Okay. So you are all from UI family, right?
Yes, yes.
No, it's okay then, no issues. So if you're aware, we don't need. If you're not aware, then I thought of taking it. It's okay. Now JavaScript, we'll go with JavaScript then.
Yes, JavaScript, TypeScript differences.
Okay. Okay, then, so no HTML is required. We are not talking about HTML5 here. Okay, anyway, you are aware of it. Then no CSS. Okay, then we'll go with JavaScript. Okay. Okay, now okay. Okay, can you tell me if you know UFA developers, right? So when do you use JavaScript and when do you use HTML5? Yes, I want to know. It can be interactive session so that it will be good.
For example, in our controller, we are using JavaScript now, writing a logics. For example, if you want to HTML use a base for UFA. In the HTML5, we will include the namespaces for our UFA applications, and for the controllers, everything we included in HTML5 only. It acts as a container.
Okay. No, forget about UEFI concepts. We'll talk about only plain JavaScript here. Plain JavaScript. Normally, when do we, suppose you want to design a web page, let us take you want to design your form or any something content on your website or something, you'll start with HTML, then right. So okay, I'll take it up. So what you said is correct. You have JavaScript controllers and everything. Normally you use JavaScript for your logic handling, and normally in plain JavaScript we don't write business logic. If you're using Node.js or something on server side coding, you will go with your business logic things. Some things. Normally JavaScript is, you can see in the DOM, right? You whatever you write, all your code will be visible in the browser, when you go with inspect or your developer tools whatever you're using. So mainly we use JavaScript for user interaction. Suppose in HTML you are designing one button. Okay, let us take submit, and we have the form on top of it, some form values. So once user fills the form, then suppose user want to submit his form, you want to register for something. Then once user submits, you will collect all the form values and you will push to your backend. So there will be backend logic. Normally, suppose you are using plain JavaScript, let us take you are designing your HTML page. Okay, now you have some form here. Okay, and one submit button. Once you click on it, so it will go to your backend first. Suppose you are sending your values. Let us take your collecting your name, first name, last name, your DOB, everything. So you will from UI you will send to your backend. It can be any language. It can be Node.js. If you are using Java, it can be Java, or if you are using Python. These are all server-side languages. So our JavaScript, only JavaScript is a client-side language. Okay. So on the client side, you no need to. It is not good to handle our business logic. So you will send to, if you are using Node.js in CAPM, you'll use our all business logic at the Node.js level. If you are a Java developer, Java microservices, if you are using Spring Boot for you are using Java version of CAPM, then you will write here. Once you have some business logic integrated, some calculations using these values, you want to do some calculations before pushing it to DB. Okay, so this kind of logics will be handled in the backend, and in client side, just we will send some values to the backend, and processing will be happening in the backend. And finally, using your API, you will push your code to, suppose your SQL statement you are using insert, you will use insert statement and push to your DB. It can be HANA Cloud, it can be PostgreSQL, MySQL, whatever it is. Okay, so this is how normal flow works. Okay. Okay. I don't have eraser here. Okay. One second, let me open one more. Okay, so in JavaScript, mostly in real time, what we'll be using is, we don't use, normally we'll use with variables. So we'll discuss about variables, and don't use var. Now that days are gone. Only use let and constant. Let and constant will be using the CS6 versions, and we'll be using functions. We'll be discussing about functions, and we'll talking about how to create objects. Normally we'll use these concepts, and promises. No, in real time we'll be using mostly the functions, and normally objects everywhere it will be there, but promises, using normal promises, or we'll use async await. It is the just same as it works as promises only, but it is the effective way of writing the coding. Okay, so these things will be enough for when working with real-time projects. So we'll give covering functions, variables, and how to create objects, and promises. That will be enough. Okay, now we will discuss about variables. Okay, now I will directly go to the code here. So I need one sample HTML. First we'll write one HTML here. Unless I can take it from somewhere. I have some HTML structure here.
It actually your screen is not visible.
Sorry, you want to increase size?
Screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible. Oh. Oh, I did not share. Sorry. Yeah. What you do? Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to share it. I was talking here with writing. Okay. Okay. Now in JavaScript, we will be talking about variables. Then we'll talk about functions. We'll talk about there are some concepts related to objects, and we'll talk about promises and about async await. These concepts will be discussed. So we don't want here, so I will write JavaScript here directly. So here in the HTML, you can write JavaScript using script tag directly, or you can use external JavaScript file also. Okay, now I will use one HTML tag for this, just to start with variables. So here what I'm doing, I taken one span tag, and we have the on-click event, standard event of that span tag. For any tag in HTML, you will be having on-click event. So I'm using the document DOM object, and inside the DOM we have body, style dot background color, and I'm setting it this one, and I'm using one more span tag. Okay, I'm taking two span tags. Slowly we'll move from here to from HTML to JavaScript, and then we will move to separate JavaScript file. So now I don't want for now this one. JS, I'm taking limit something. Okay. So I'm running it. So now here, this is HTML, and here what we have written here, we have on-click event, and here we have I have some logic, a small to change the background color when I click on this text. Okay. Now what I'm doing is, so I click on the background, that means I'm body tag here directly in from the DOM. Instead of that, you can write window dot, because window is the super object of all DOM. When you talk about HTML DOM, window is the top object. Inside that window, you have DOM, that is a document object. We use a document dot get element by ID, document bar dot something. All the we have the methods. So you can write window or document also. Children background color and same thing. Now this logic we will write in a JavaScript file. So what I will do, I will maintain a separate JavaScript file here. I'll create one more file here. So now I will move sevens. Extension of .js. So what we will do now? Now we have displayed the texts. Okay. Now we don't want this one. What we do, we will collect values to learn the concept variables. So what we do is we will collect the variable values. Let us take this is a okay. First I will collect the values using alert or something prompt. We have prompt. So when user enters the code here, it can enter any color. Let's take red, blue, whatever color. We will store this user value in variable, and we will use this variable value to form the same object. Let's check. I'm clicking on red. I'm clicking on blue. So what we have done here, we are writing here red blue text. Okay. Now what we will do, this background color will be set dynamically using variables. Okay. So now first we need to declare some variables. Okay, I'll go here first. Remove that code to that file. That will be easy. First parameter will be, I will show the syntax for you. So this is standard one. It is not just like alert. We have window.prompt. You can use this one. So here the syntax is, we have here prompt, and the first parameter will be your whatever you want to ask the end user. Let's take, please enter your name, and you can use the value. So the second one is the actual value what user enters, and the first one is the question what you ask, what you information you want to take it from the user. So then after that, what we are doing it here. So we'll collect those values in a variable using let, and it's just a normal check if it's a null or not, user entered or not. And after that, what we have to do, will use this variable here. So here we don't want to do it statically. So we will use here instead of that. So we'll use this code, window.prompt or prompt, anything is fine. So I'm using this one, window.prompt. First parameter I'll use enter any color. You can actually, we need to take input from the user. So that's what I'm thinking. We don't want to store these values. So we'll declare one variable here, let us color 1. Then we'll use this variable here. You need to pass don't want to click here. Okay, I'm back 1 second. Okay. Run HTML. Okay. And here window.prompt, we're entering it, and what we'll do, we'll use this variable color one, we'll put here, and we'll correct one more user color 2, and use one more same thing. And I will use this color 2 here. Now once we have these variables collected, and now we are not using this text, this also we don't want, so this is static text, so we'll use the same variables, and we need to display those colors here, so we'll use this displaying the text in the body. We'll see running it. This is our old one. It will ask the color, and let's take, I'm entering yellow, and other color I'm entering is, let's take red. Oh, there is no separation, sorry. So when we debug it here, want to see how it is values are getting captured. We put a breakpoint here. A breakpoint, you want it here. Here these two. If I refresh it, see it is coming here and it asking the colors. Let's check. I'm entering here now purple. So this variable is storing this value. And once it comes to the next line, I'm entering now yellow. So debugger came out, purple yellow displayed, and we are showing it here. I don't think it will appear here anyway. Now on click also we need to add it here. So now let us see. So it is not linked. There is no text here. So it is this span has this one. Now what we have to do, we will put this both are in separate. This is separate HTML. This is document.write is separate HTML. So now what we have to do, we have to bring this HTML to our document.write. So I'm putting it here. Span tag. Now I want to put this color dynamically here. Now here also color 2. Also we'll put the same tag here. So we need the text to display as a span, right? So we need to keep same color here. Now we don't want this because we are not using this at all. So let's see what it will display now. Right, some okay, because here we use this one, right? Double quotes, it will end here. So we need to maintain internally single quotations if we are maintaining double quotes outside. So otherwise it will consider this as a string. This is okay. So now I'm entering color. Let's take blue. And let us take one more color. I'm doing the debugger here for now. Let's take yellow. Now color should come here. Variables we have. Oh, sorry. I think there is a mistake here. We should add plus here, variable, right? Or else you can use string literals. That would easy. That will be easy. Color one. And here also I'll use this string literals. Here also you should close string literals. So string literals, what it is, it will consider all this string except the things dynamically what we declared using dollar and curly braces. Okay, that is new form of writing. Only red came. I remove debugger and try again. I think it's overwriting. 1 second. We'll have to try with one now. I think it is overriding the previous document that right. Otherwise, I have to keep the same in a single file, single document that right. I'll use separator here. Don't want this. I'll maintain in a single. I think that's what it's overriding. String later started, ended. Okay, red, yellow. Now it is capturing the click. That means earlier what is the issue is we are writing two document that writes. So advantage of document that write is just like you are writing HTML in JavaScript. Suppose if you see here, you can without writing any HTML tag, you can directly write HTML code is nothing but using document that write. You can directly write HTML without HTML tags in the separate HTML file. Suppose I'm writing document that write here. So now already content is there in the DOM. Now if I write something demo kind of thing, it will overwrite. So this is the same thing happening because we have written two tags here, document that write, document that write. So now it is taking the first one, it is displaying. Again, we are writing once more. That's why it is taking the second color yellow. So here now, since we are maintaining in the same HTML, in the one document that write, all HTML in a single one, so it is picking up. So now what we will do is we will move the same piece of code to functions. So variables using let, and you can declare using constant also. But constant, if you write any, let's take you are declaring constant, mainly we use for declaring constant values. You want to store some which values will not change. Even if suppose let's take I am writing v1 here, v1 is equal to 10. Okay. Now if I try to again overwrite this one, let us take I'm giving some string abc. Now it will give an error to us. See, I will execute this. Okay, we don't want it now. Okay, anyway, I will give some colors. Now you see here, it is gives an error. You cannot reassign the values to constant, but let will allow you. So, and also the scope, when we talk about scope of this let and constants. Okay, let me take the new board. So let's take you are declaring one function f1 and declaring, and you are declaring here let. Normally how we declare where means you no need to worry about, just you declare where and I is equal to something value, let can be 10 or any value. So the same assignment of value will not change even you are using let or something, only the scope of it will change. Just like global variables, we should declare where here, and it can be used complete outside the functions also. Here is the same way you can use it. Dynamic typing also allows let, but only some scope. Suppose you are declaring one. Let us take you have one backend call. Let us take you are calling some function, and inside that you have one more function. So at that time, this variable you cannot use it inside this. It's like a closest concept. So if you are declaring f1 here and inside you have some code over here, again you have some one more function you are declaring. It can be callback or something, f2, and you are declaring it here, let I, and you can use this I here but not reverse. So that scope changed compared to the var variables, and constant is always like how what we declared here. So only the variables will be assigned. So here it did not give you the error here. So but suppose if you are using TypeScript, let us take let me go to VS Code. VS Code has good support for TypeScript. So suppose if I am, let me check, I'll create a new file here. I'll remove this. I don't want this. I'll create a new file here. Let's take, I'm creating index.js. Okay, before that, let me check whether I have the TypeScript. So advantage of using TypeScript is I'll show you how. Now, okay, now let me check. You need Node to run it. It has TypeScript. I think I install, otherwise we'll do it. TypeScript is not there. No, don't say it's not there. Okay. I want to install it now. Okay, if you want, I will do it now. Wait. In JavaScript, until you execute that code, you don't know what error it will come. So until I execute this code, this one, you see here the assignment of constant variable. But in TypeScript, while you are using the VS Code, while you are typing here declaration of these variables, it will tell you in advance. That means you can avoid those errors in advance while you are writing the code itself. That is the main advantage of using TypeScript. Not only this, only constant, many things. You can declare your own custom types using interfaces, and you can use those types in your project. I think it is installed now. Let me check it. Cannot install. No. Delete this. Don't think TS also is there. TypeScript also is not there. We need to install TypeScript also. Normally in CAPM, we have the steps to install TypeScript support. Yes, internet is slow. Okay, I will install TypeScript here. Let it load. So once you have installed Node.js, I will install from here itself. So you have npm now, npm install. You have to install globally TypeScript. It is not working in the US. So once you have the TypeScript installed, okay, it is installed now. You want to check it, you can use TSC. We'll give this one. Once you have this, we'll go to VS Code. Node.js is required to install TypeScript, so I install Node.js first. So I'll create a new file here. So TypeScript end with TS. Okay. Now let me declare one variable. Let's take I is equal to 10. I am giving. Now if I try to assign any value to it, let's say I'm giving ABC. See, it gives an error here. String is not assignable to type number. So this thing, suppose now you want to, it's a TypeScript. So now there will be transpiler. That means it will be converting into the JavaScript. So you want to run TSC. I don't know why this is not working here. Okay, I'll go with command prompt. So it's not reflected here. In this path. Okay, J2. Okay, we have index here. Now if we use TSC and run, okay, it's not taking. I think we need to configure a few things, but anyway, I will try to compile our file for now. TSC index.ts. See, now it is generated your JavaScript also. The same TypeScript version, when you compile it using TSC command, it is generated with JavaScript type. So JavaScript is accepting, no issues here. But when you see the TypeScript here, it is not accepting because it's already assigned. So this type issues can be resolved using TypeScript. This is a small example. Even if you can try constant, and we need a, okay, before that, we need the configuration file. We have tsconfig file. I think you want to generate it, you can use tsc init. You can see in the command sheet somewhere it will be here. You're looking for file path. When you type TSC, it will be displaying all the configuration file parameters. Check.js, output file, library. So we'll maintain all this in a TS config file. So I think we want to generate TS file, config file. So TSC init, not init, TSC init. Now when we go to our project, it created on config file. So in this config file, we can configure our coding guidelines. That means what version of your target, ES6, ES 2016, ES6, like that. And also what types it will not accept. And also we have main things will be output folder, root directory, we can map it. And there are many other configure parameters. I don't know, they did not generate it. No implicit returns. With the comments, it will display. We go to config file. There are many parameters here. If you want to compiler options, some people to avoid types, type issues, what they will do. Some people now, suppose now to avoid that, normally how you do int, let I, let's take, I'm declaring here string. I can declare the type here, but I should give string here. So normally we will write like this. We will define the type of it before. Now I am declaring constant. Let's take t1 of type. I'm declaring integer. Or anything. You can declare like array also. Then we'll go with string. And if you declare this 10, so it will give error here. So you need to define the type before to hold the variable, just like C language. You should declare the type before that. But in JavaScript, it is a loosely typed language. But in TypeScript, we need to declare the types before to avoid this compiler errors. Okay, we'll see. We have a separate, when we go with the cap, I'll show you there how we use TypeScript in CAPM and how we declare our own, how to generate the types. Internet is slow, right? Okay, I'll go here. There will be stack TypeScript. So when you go here, so how you install this, and you have to use this, and we have CDS typer. This is an npm package here, and you can see. So once you write your code, and it will generate the types for you, and you use that types in your handlers using this one. It will generate in a separate folder with your, this is the your folder. It will generate, and it will be your namespace. It will generate like that, and from there we will take the types and use those types here instead of typing hard coding. Normally in UI5, what we will do, if there is a dot create method, and you will pass the entity set here and the data here. So normally you used to type entity set here. So instead of static typing, we'll use the types directly here by getting it from the generated types. That is the purpose of CDS typer. This is a separate NPM package only. It comes as NPM package from SAP. CDS typer. See how they're doing some examples here. We'll see this one. How you use and how you generate the types for your code, and how to write your coding standards. Suppose some people will maintain these configurations. Okay, strict coding. I don't want to declare any. Some people, to avoid errors in projects, what they will do, they will declare it as, you go here type, they don't know. Let us take, I have an object, big object, and they don't know. They will keep simply any. So instead of using any, it doesn't mean any meaningless. It's meaningless. So it will accept any type. So there is no type checking here. So that's why to avoid such kind of things, in TS config file, we'll declare there are some properties. I don't remember all the properties here. When you go to this TypeScript configuration files, there might be strict null check, no implicit any. This kind of configurations we will declare there. No null checks. You want to disable it, you want to disable. All these configurations will be maintained here in the config file. Based on that, your compiler will give the errors. We'll see about this TypeScript later in depth, but this is how the importance of TypeScript. Just to give an example, like I told you that. Okay, now coming back to our part here, I'm just removing here. Now we'll move this piece of code to functions. Now this is the variable, small concept of variables. We can use constant since we are not overriding here. We are not reassigning any values here. You can use your constant also because it won't change. Only one value we are declaring. So to run it, that also works. We're done. Same concept, even the constant, because you are not reassigning the value. Only one time I'm using it. Now we will declare some functions here. So function, let us take change. I'm declaring one function. Okay, before writing functions, we'll talk about some, just 2 minutes about functions. So the syntax for writing function, you know, function keyword, and here function name of the function, and parenthesis like this. Inside the here all your code goes here, and here also you can have parameters. Function, this is the function without parameters, and if we have the function with parameters, we can pass a1 comma a2 like that and use that parameters inside this function. So now I will add one function here, change bg color on function. I'm declaring one function here. So what I will do, color 1 I will take, and I will use one more function here. Color 2 I will declare. Now what I have to do, I want to write this logic. So I will move this logic to this function. So I'm having here. So I will pass it color 1 in the same code. We have color 2, and what I will do, I will call this function here. So when we talk about naming conventions here, use camel case. Camel case in the sense, let us take. So camel case in the sense, let us take, I have function change bg color. So word by word, first word should be small letters, and remaining word by word you write in a capital letters. So this is the camel case. But starting should be small letters. So this is the naming convention where we follow in UI5 also, even in CAPM also, for declaring your functions or classes, everything. Classes is separate syntax, but for functions the same. Okay, now here I'm declaring color 1, color 2. Now I don't want this. I'm removing this code and I will call my function here. Okay, let me correct it. Change BG color. I'm declaring a function. I need to put in parentheses. And here also I don't want. I'm removing this. I will use this function here. Okay, and now, okay, we'll declare these variables on the top. Okay, let us see now executing this. Is this one? So I'm entering here now yellow, red. So we got this. When you click on it, a second, some change PG clear when I think it is not accepting syntax. Color 1, color 2, we got it. I'm calling the function color 1, color 2, and oh, sorry, the basic thing missed. Here you need to declare the parenthesis. I missed it. So here I'm writing red. Now if you see here, I'll put a breakpoint to show you. I'm clicking on red here. So whenever this on click is called, this will execute. This will call this call stack goes here, and color 1 is undefined. Here we have, then how come it displayed red? That's what I'm thinking. Let us release this and see what we are getting here. Prompt also not coming. Okay, now it came. I'm giving red. Okay, we have the value here, red. Color 2, blue. Okay, now I took the color. Till this is fine. We have the values. Okay, let me check now. It came here. Is calling here. Okay. What the values here and this spot, maybe scope is creating a problem. Once again, change it to let. It changed now. Yellow is working. I think there is some syntax issue here somewhere. 1 second. Red, green. Red, green came here. Sorry, it's my bad. Actually here I passed a parameter, but I'm not passing from here. So I don't want this parameter. Accidentally put parameter over here. Already it has the color. So what is happening is I put parameter here and it is expecting value from here, not from this variable. That's why it is taking from here, not from here. But that's why here I don't have any parameter. That's why it is taking this one correctly from this variable. So now it is taking from here. That is the problem. So accident typo there. Okay. Now we'll see. Red. Hello. Yeah. It did not refresh, I guess. 1 second, that the code is reflected or not. I want to see. Okay, I changed it in the debugger, not here. Red, blue, red, and blue. Okay, now here, so what we're doing earlier issue is the parameter I'm passing, it is expecting that value because I'm not passing any value from here. That's why it is undefined. Okay. Okay, now we have two functions here. I don't want two functions for two text or two colors. Suppose I have n number of colors and I don't want to create these many functions. So what I will do, I'll keep on common function here. I don't want. So I will comment it out. This function for now. I want to use only one function. So here comes with a function with parameters. So what I do is here, whenever you click on it, I will pass the same color here. So now I'll use only one function. I'm not using two functions. So now we have two colors, text, and only one function. So now here, I'll use color one. I don't want two parameters here, only one parameter. But we'll see. No, this is not good way. Color I will pass it commonly. And here color one, color two. Okay, whatever turn it will take it. Okay, now we will see. Now execute. I have purple, pink. So if you see the code here, how it works. Normally, I will first we will see some error came. Okay, now we'll see what is the error. Oh, sorry, function name I did not change it here. I changed it here, but I did not change. With one function, right? We don't have other function here now. That is the issue. So I will release this debugger. I don't want. Red, blue. So now only one function with two. It is working, taking function with parameters. That is the advantage of using parameters whenever you are refactoring the code in real time. If there is a reusable code, you should put in a separate function and you can avoid the duplicate of the coding. That will definitely improve your application performance and it will be made good maintainable for other developers also when they come into their other projects also. So now what I'm doing it here, only one function I used. Earlier I used two functions. What I'm doing here, I'm calling only one function, whatever the color. So here we are using only the color variable name is changing. Whatever we're collecting it, I'm using it here, and the related color I'm passing it as one parameter to here. So we don't want to use color 1, color 2 here, because you can use it the same name, but you have to use the same parameter here also. Okay. So this is the functions and function with parameters, and we are using variables here, let and constants, and there are many other concepts also in ES6. When you go and check in your Google or something, ES6, or what is the latest version? So you sometimes will call it ECMAScript versions. That is a ECMAScript, nothing but a specification for JavaScript standards that is maintained. So ES6, some people will call ES2 2015, some people will call. So depends. That's the stable version. That's why many people use the stable version. In TypeScript, we were mentioning that ESConfig also they will mention, but these people are mentioned as ES next. There will be ES6 also. If you type it here, see, you will get all the values, ES 2016, ES 2000, all the versions. But most of the all browsers should support it. Otherwise, instead of using your latest one, it doesn't matter. Okay, so stable version should be used, and it should be supported by all browsers, because customers will use Edge. And people, even Edge supports the Chrome engine has now. That's not a problem. Earlier, we used to have Internet Explorer, so that will not support many things. So to avoid that, so we should use the stable versions which all browsers supported. Okay. Let me clear all. Till any questions so far about variables and functions, HTML, JavaScript, and we'll talk about TypeScript more when we go to CAP, because here we don't have that much scope here. We'll talk about only the declaring the type for the variables or function parameters. Even if you suppose you are declaring any functions, so I will write in TypeScript, then you come to go to type. Now you're declaring function F1. All syntaxes, whatever you're using in JavaScript, it will be supported in TypeScript. Suppose I'm adding here parameter A1, comma A2. So it will ask you the type here. See, any type. See, it is saying never used. That's okay. Even in JavaScript, it will say never used. You declare never used. But here, by default, it has any type. So to avoid that, you should use, I'm declaring string, this one, and you can declare it here number. So then it will go. So that at the time when you are calling this function and passing the values, it accepts only string. Or if you have any custom type, let us take your own custom type coming from interfaces, you can generate your own custom types using interfaces. You can declare that should be also, it should be here. That all we will see in the CAPM. Mostly we have the scope there where we can declare the interfaces, generate the types, and use that in your how to import those types into your controller in the sense your handler. So this kind we need to declare like this, but in JavaScript we never do this because it's a loosely typed language and it's flexible for developers, and many developers like that also. There is no strict guidelines, but in TypeScript initially it will be tough to write the coding using TypeScript, and I will show what we have done in our project also, how we have used a TypeScript, how many interfaces we generated, how types generated, and we use those types here, all these things in CAPM. So, but initially it will be tough to understand. If you're a JavaScript developer also, initially it will be tough to write and learn. Once you have these concepts easily, then it will be easy. And also the project code also looks good also for other developers when they read it. Just like how you write a Java code also, you have classes, you have constructor concepts, methods, all these things. That's why many people prefer TypeScript now. Okay. Okay, now if no questions still so far, I think now promises we need a good time to discuss about promises. I think await objects. In plain JavaScript, we don't have objects, only functions, and you are calling that function using new keyword that will declare objects. Anyway, we'll discuss when it comes to TypeScript. We have classes and everything there. Okay. Okay, now this JavaScript is enough, except promises. I will take promises while you are writing in CAPM. Promises, async await, how to use it and everything. Since you all know, basics of JavaScript, I thought any abappers also will be there here, but no abappers here. So anyway, we can start directly with CAPM next. Or if you have, no, UI5 will not be taken in depth here in your UI5 developers. So now what we will do, we will start directly with CAPM. Next sessions will be starting with CAPM. If you want, I will teach TypeScript basics, only not only declaring variables only, some TS config, how to add configurations, or else we can cover in the CAPM only. Anyway, we are at the first we will start with the JavaScript CAPM. Then finally at the end we will convert that using TypeScript. Then you come to know, okay, if there is already some projects will be there already, there will be JavaScript, and they want to switch to TypeScript, all conversion should happen. That will help you. Okay, if you don't have trial accounts, normally your developer will be having, if you're working trial accounts, Bash, you create it. HANA Cloud, you create your HANA Cloud instance. Initially, we'll go with SQLite and create your HANA Cloud DB and keep your HTI ready. Or else I will show in the class also how to create that and the thing. And next sessions will cover, will start directly CAPM. And before that, sorry, we have Node.js concepts also. I forgot about that. Node.js concepts, we will discuss what we required for the CAPM. There are some concepts. Anyway, asynchronous programming and everything is a part of Node.js or JavaScript. Both are same. We are using async await, asynchronous programming promises. Same concepts can be used in here also. So same concepts. You don't need to teach separately in TypeScript and there here. Same concepts will be using. Once Node.js, synchronous or JavaScript, Node.js, synchronous, all are same. So before that, we will take Node.js, these concepts, missing concepts. Once you are familiar with some Node.js, executing plain Node.js code using commands, because we will be using some commands in the CAPM Bash terminal, right? So you should know how to use and how to execute, how to generate, transpiling your files, all these things. Once we have this ready, and then we'll start with the CAPM. And then while learning CAPM backend, first we'll develop some REST endpoints. Then we will use annotation to generate the query elements apps. Once you have the full-fledged app, then we will develop one freestyle app using CAPM endpoints what we developed. And after that we'll go with this restricting your service to different users, roles, role collections, and adding authentication for the app router. App router handles everything, all Wi-Fi apps, right? Single entry point. So that we will discuss about it. And once we have that, we'll go with GitHub. So anyway, we have I don't know how many people are here. All people will have collaboration with GitHub. I will split the tasks. Let us take, we are developing some CAPM small project kind of thing. I will split and give some tasks to each one. Then you should push your code to the GitHub. And finally, we see the merged code and we'll try to deploy to BTP. So whatever we do in the real time, we'll do. But CI/CD we have to see CI/CD Jenkins setup and everything. Normally, I don't do. DevOps people will do. But anyway, we'll use CI/CD concept we have in BAS CI/CD pipe project pipe. So we'll use the CI/CD service in BTP service. We'll link. For that, we need to write some configuration pipeline files in your Node.js project, your CAPM service. Then it will automatically sync your code. Okay. Does anyone know here writing OPA test QUnit in UI5? Because sometimes that also we need when we are dealing with freestyle apps in CAPM. If you're aware, I don't cover. Otherwise, I'll skip it. Does anyone written unit testing and integration testing in UI5?
Yes, some projects I will done actually. But we need also, because Simeon and Yasser also new for unit testing and integration testing.
Okay. Okay, then we will cover that also OPA test, how to write, and we'll see that would be, because in project they will ask if you are using, I don't know, normal companies, only SAP products, they will ask if you're working in SAP from your company to SAP things directly something. Otherwise, I did not see many companies using that, but anyway, we'll cover that OPA and QUnit also.
Venkat, one more thing, actually, in this course, you are also covering about the extensibility, side-by-side extensibility, how to connect with
yeah, side-by-side extensions, yeah, because we will develop one, and side-by-side extensions is nothing but, suppose you have S4. Okay, let us take you have your
for example, for upcoming we have public cloud projects scheme.
Public cloud extensions, that might be different, but yeah.
But we want we want definitely that in this course, because upcoming project is came based upon the public cloud environment only.
Public cloud side-by-side extensions in the sense, normally you used to have this API, right? For that
API in business partner API.
Yeah, that will be because even it's a public cloud or your private on-premise systems, finally how you do side-by-side is you take the API and EDMX file. So okay, once we have that EDMX file, you import into your CAPM. So all API related to that EDM of your API from the backend, whether it's public cloud in the sense what? Public cloud, SAP will provide the API for you. But if it's S4 on-premise or private cloud, your S4 team will give the API to you. That you will import into your CAPM and use it.
Yes.
No, that is the main part here. That is the API, how you are developing side-by-side extensions using CAPM. Not CAPM mostly used for side-by-side extensions only, right? That will be covered. That will no worries of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other? If you want to add, tell me, because different projects, different people have different things. So suppose if I have worked on it, that I will add it.
Upcoming, there is a lot of our company is taking a lot of public cloud projects now.
Yeah, because it is all will be maintained by SAP. You don't need to worry about all this, but only APIs you should use and develop. Yeah, that's many customers are opting it.
Yes, for example, some customers want a new app entirely new. Generally, in S4 on a public cloud, we don't have customization. We are using extensibility only to done the custom.
Yeah, for public cloud only side-by-side extensions only. And even for RAP programmers also, they have separate custom fields and logic. They used to add only whatever SAP provides. Otherwise, they cannot extend. Here also in CAPM also, whatever the API provided by SAP, that can be used here. Because that is everything in the hands of SAP, right? Public cloud, they will be upgrading and everything. Yeah, it is like a SaaS. Yeah.
Better we have the weekly 3 days class. Actually, we need to
weekly weekdays is not possible, Abhinesh, for me. That's why I'm taking on weekends. We have 5 days or 4 days, minimum 4 days office for us. So that's why I cannot take on weekdays. That's why I initially informed only weekends I can take. Even if you want to extend, I can extend on weekends also. But weekdays, I will think if there is 1 day possible at least per week. If you want to finish it early, then I will check. Okay. Any other questions? Today just I declared, because actually I came with HTML, CSS and everything. I thought of, because anyway ABAPers will be the last time I think ABAPer 1 joined. Because of them, HTML, CSS I planned, then no ABAPers, then I went directly JavaScript. We covered basic concepts. Anyway, Node.js part will cover these promises and async programming. That is important in real time. That is very important while writing the code. Okay. If you want, you can set up a Node.js also in your VS Code. Install Node.js, install in your system, TypeScript. You can install it and you can try. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. If you are facing any errors, we can discuss. Okay. Then for today, this is the things. Next weekend we'll discuss about what I missed today: promises, async programming, and some basics about Node.js. After, I think next weekend we'll start CAPM, directly with CAPM.
So before that, we already set up this environment on a cloud, and also already we have set up this.
Yeah, that you do it, no problem. If you're ready, okay. But before that, we need to learn this Node.js basics. Node.js,
We already set up this.
Yeah, it's okay then. It's okay. Then we'll go with this asynchronous programming concept, and then it'll be good to go.
Okay. My side, there is no question. Simeon, sir, do you have any questions?
Yeah, no issues.
Okay, no problem. Okay, then we'll meet next weekend.
Okay.
Then we'll proceed. By the time you practice this, if you are not aware, you practice. Otherwise, no worries. Okay.
We will practice, and TypeScript we install practice.
Yeah, you practice. Keep practicing, and when you have any problems, we can discuss. Everybody will learn it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.